Welcome everyone to the first school board meeting of the 25-26 school year. To our staff who's attending, to our distinguished guest and honored guest that we'll be recognizing. I understand we had a pretty successful soft launch today for the first day of school, and we begin tomorrow. So very exciting. If you will join us for the Pledge of jump right into recognitions.
All right.
So I'll turn that over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and we'll wait for you all to head on down. All of our recognitions are very, very important. This one's very special. Pulaski County School Board and Pulaski County Public Schools would like to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to our school resource officers. Your dedication, vigilance, and compassion make our schools safer and our students' days brighter. You are more than just protectors. You are mentors, role models, and trusted friends to our students and staff. Whether you are greeting students in the morning, lending a listening ear, or stepping in during difficult moments, your presence reminds us that safety and care go hand in hand. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, for building positive relationships, and for being a steady source of reassurance for our school community. We see you, we appreciate you, and we are grateful for all that you bring every single day. And just kind of informally, I've been in this business a long time and worked with a lot of school resource officers, and I judge the safety of a school and school resource officers based on if I would put my children in the school knowing that they were safe, and I would put my children in every single one of the schools that you all represent. So we really appreciate everything you do, and I would ask that you come down to receive a small token of your appreciation with the school board. So as you come down, we'll give you another round of applause. So we have a couple certificates for you all, and also a little prize, just to try. I know not everybody's here, but we have Deputy Arnold Bohannon, who's at Riverlawn, Deputy James Thompson, who serves at Dublin Elementary, Deputy Cody Slaughter, who serves at Pulaski County High School, Corporal Josh Bowden, who serves at Pulaski County High School, Sergeant Charles Ratcliffe, who serves here at Pulaski County Middle School, Deputy Kelly White, who also serves here at Pulaski County Middle School, Deputy Jonathan Reese, who's at Pulaski Elementary School, Deputy David Kressel, who's at Snowville, and Lieutenant Stuart Nelson is our supervisor of the school board, school resource officers. We have Deputy Chris Clark as well, and then we have part-time SROs who will be alternating through the week during the school year at Kreiser. Deputy Tom and Deputy Mike served as SROs previously, and we are excited to have them coming back this year. And last but certainly not least, Deputy Ryan McPeak, who unfortunately will not be with us this year, but has done an outstanding job at Dublin Elementary while he has been there. So we're going to get a picture now and celebrate together. And do we have a representative from First Bank here this evening? There we go. Come on up, Taylor. Pulaski County School Board and Pulaski County Public Schools would like to extend a very special thank you to First Bank. First Bank has collected over 4,800 school supplies items for Pulaski County schools through community donations. And in addition, the bank is very proud to contribute $2,500 in support of the upcoming school year. That means a lot to us, and we are grateful for that. I'm going to read this, and then Ms. Payne and Mr. Williams probably will have some things to say because they were at the celebration for this. Pulaski County School Board and Pulaski County Public Schools would like to recognize Ms. Jessica Morrison, Director of School Nutrition and the School Nutrition Program, for their recent recognition at the Virginia School Board Association. The School Nutrition Program was recognized for work in their after-school meals program. Our School Nutrition Program department provides snacks and suppers at various schools and to community sponsors on a daily basis. By providing these services, our nutrition department aims to increase meal access and fight hunger to extend nutrition beyond the school day. The suppers and snacks are given to participating students at no charge and make strides to meet the needs of those in our community who may experience inconsistent food supply. The School Nutrition Department is grateful for the opportunity to provide food to our students and out of regular school hours. So, Ms. Morrison, if you would come forward. And as I said, this was given at the Education Day in Richmond, and Mr. Williams and Ms. Payne went, and I think that went very, very well. Anything, Madam Chair, that you... Well, just to be brutally honest here, Mr. Williams, she was afraid that you were keeping it. So, all right, that leads us to our student representative update, so we'll let you all join us back up here and invite Amaya up to the microphone. You can come up here with me if you want, or you're welcome to use that one too. For those of you that don't know, this is Amaya Miller. She's our student representative on the school board, and she is an absolute rock star. Take that out, right?
Okay, hope so, because I just did it. I hope everyone is having a great evening so far, and I hope you guys are ready for school to officially start back tomorrow. I know I am. Not. I know my mom actually is, because she's been dealing with me and my sisters the whole summer. She's starting to get a little annoyed. But on a more serious note, I can't reiterate how grateful I am to be here speaking today at this meeting and representing all my peers this year as student representative. That being said, I've been to several events recently that have shaped me and prepared me for rising concerns from students this year. I've been to the PLX meeting and the new teacher orientation, which both prepared me for all of the things that students may have concerns for during the school year, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the new faces that I saw at the new teacher orientation and the PLX meeting. There were so many new people, and I hope each of them can take a piece of Pulaski County like I am this year, being the student representative. That being said, I hope you guys have a great day and a great last day of summer break.
I told you, an absolute rock star.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to her reports before this board. I kind of joked when I saw you at PLX and we had you speak, and then we had you again at new teacher orientation and speak. I'm like, we're throwing her right in the deep end quickly. And you've handled it with style and grace, and I thank you for that. This brings us to our first opportunity to recognize any citizens who may be hiding out there that want to address the board. This first public comment session is for persons who wish to address the board related to matters that are on the agenda for tonight. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? We've all had the opportunity to read over the minutes from the July 1st special called meeting and the July 29th regular meeting. If there are no objections or any requests for amendments, may I get a motion to approve those minutes?
Chair, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Scott, Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
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 We also had the opportunity to review tonight's agenda. If there are no requested changes to the agenda, can I have a motion to approve the August 12th, 2025 agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
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 Moving on to the consent agenda. Again, we've had the opportunity to review the preliminary warrant list, the personnel report, which is on the screen there. Can I get a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
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 And on to our instructional focus, Dr. Webb and Sue.
Madam Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Graham, this is your curriculum team under Dr. Grant. We wanted to share with you some curriculum updates, and I will turn it over to my colleagues to start.
So we have been busy working all summer, coming up with the curriculum canvas page where teachers can go and get up-to-date news and information based on curriculum. And some of the things we want to highlight on the canvas page is our curriculum corner, which is a weekly newsletter that goes out every Sunday around 6 p.m. with all the dates that are coming up for what we need to know in the next week or so, and then even in the next month. And then we also have our curriculum hub, which features a Canvas course that teachers can go and get strategies. We were thinking about bite-sized PDs, 5 minutes or less PD, where they can go get a strategy, learn how to do it, and these are all instructional strategies, engagement strategies that we are pushing and that we're looking for when we come through classrooms based on research. So we wanted to show you that, and then we also have our one-stop shops that we're going to show you, which is resources that we have had teachers do curriculum writing right over the summer, resources we put together for them to go. So, it takes it a minute. All right, so this is our curriculum hub where we have everything. We've got it set up to where it's basically set up as a web page. What we want to show you first are the modules. And and we have enrolled every teacher in the county into our modules. We have asked that for the first 20 days of school that teachers strategically teach engagement strategies. We teach students how to engage in whatever we're doing with the thought that they don't know, we need to teach them. So we've got a list of 20 of engagement strategies that they'll practice and go over. And I'm going to get Paul to talk about this because she came up with the name, but we're calling ourselves the Curriculum Channel. We're WPCS for the news channel. And we'd like to pull up one of the short videos. We're not going to play the whole thing, just pick whichever one. daughter attended that session, and she took it and ran with it, and has a video that she did over LMs where the modules are at. So, we're hoping to get more teachers involved. We know teachers are out there doing great things. Share those, highlight. I get to speak about the one-stop shops. So while they're pulling that up, the one-stop shops were an idea from the curriculum team and Dr. Grant, where we wanted, you think about looking at curriculum from a new teacher perspective. And the way things currently stand with the VOE and other places, you're hunting for resources. You're trying to find those things in order to teach the content the standards that you're given. And what we wanted to do was get teachers together and create a one-stop shop for teachers for their grade level and subject area. What we knew we needed was help, because that's a lot of work. So we had many wonderful teachers, both at the elementary, middle, and high school level, help us work on these. Now, they're not finished, they're still a work in progress, but we want them to be a work in progress. Because as new strategies, as new activities, new lessons, new science experiments are tried in the classroom and shown to be effective, we want those included on there. So while you're going to see tonight is going to be a 6th grade English. And the reason I pulled that up is because this teacher took the template, said, I got this, and ran with it. And it's an example of what good work our teachers did this summer. Thankfully, we were able to pay them for their work as well, out of some grant money to curriculum writing. And they really did a phenomenal job. He will be presenting to the new teachers at the New Teacher Academy. So maybe we can get him to do that. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. Now, what the teacher was given was a shell. And the teacher worked with colleagues and built this. So you're a new teacher coming into 6th grade language arts. We do have a new teacher there. And you get this. It's a whole lot better than what you got last year. So you've got colleagues who have done this for a while contributing to this document. And new teachers, as they find things as well, are contributing to this document. So it's going to build and it's going to grow and it's going to create a hub for instructional strategies. It links to the CIP. It links to the VDOE standards. They've even embedded, not so much in English and language arts, but one of their tasks was to embed the computer science standards throughout the grade levels, because those are going to be a big deal this year. So we had teachers who were taking even kindergarten standards and matching the computer science standards into that content and that curriculum. So they've done a phenomenal job. Mr. Wisman, one of our ELL teachers, created a document where the WIDA standards for our L students are also now kind of embedded into these documents. So we've had a lot of hands in it and we're super proud of it. And I know there are a lot of people super proud of it. So we wanted to share that with you this evening as well. They've been working hard. Any questions for us?
No, but I did want to say, and I know the introductory emails that you provided introducing this and getting started, I did poke around on some of those links and I'm very impressed. I know when we came in, one of the issues we wanted to address was a lot of our teachers were having to curate, gather information all over, and they weren't on the same page from school to school. We managed to curate it for them in one place, and it's going to help streamline the curriculum, and it's wonderful. Good job. I mean, excellent.
I like that collaboration. to develop it with teachers who have tried and true things in place that may have made them successful. And then new teachers bring new ideas and new ways and them being able to add. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
We're off to a great start. Got that going, right?
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of
Yes,
work.
it is.
It really is.
It's a lot of work.
It's very impressive, and I was just kind of clicking here and there, and there's so much information.
Now for the fun stuff.
The fun stuff, yeah.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Mr. Graham. You all have your budget summaries in front of you. As far as the first page goes, you have your typical operating summary, and then you also have a summary of the other funds: school nutrition, school textbook, and school capital. As of the end of July, just under 92% of the budget year is remaining. Our revenues appear to be slightly behind budget at this point in the year. However, the treasurer's office is still working on reconciling. I think I got April a couple weeks ago, so hopefully we're getting caught up. But because of that, they're also behind on our uploads, so our revenues are not up to date as of tonight's meeting, which is why some of those revenues look like they are really behind as far as collection goes. All major expenditure areas are under budget for this point in the year, with the exception of operations, which is just slightly over budget, which is to be expected with all the things that Mr. Scholl and his crew have going on. And the projected county general fund transfers just over $3 million, leaving about $15 million. And again, once we get an update on our revenues, that will likely decrease for the month of July. We'll have a true balance of our revenues at this point.
I got one more. When the payments from the county are behind like that, we're still paying bills. There's never an instance where we're bouncing checks, are we?
No. So the way that the cash works is in Pulaski County we have pooled cash, so everything's in one bank account, and then the treasurer's office will make the entries to the funds. So the bank account itself is yes, and so then they just make the entries to delegate it out between all the different funds.
I notice, and I love to see it, our school textbook fund seems to accrue money in it. What are some items we could spend that money on?
Just recently, Dr. Grant purchased the Magma Math out of our textbook funds. New textbooks, any type of like curriculum platform, students can use directly purchase out of textbooks. No.
Good try.
Good try.
Good try. And something like that was just presented to us. Could we use it towards building that out too and providing more direct link resources that are service based that you have to pay for?
It just depends. Textbook funds are a little bit tricky as far as what we can spend it on, but we can definitely look into it.
That's something that we can check with the Department of Education on too. They do allow some leniency for that.
Right.
So
Is there some way we could use this fund to buy consumables so we're not making a ton of copies of just worksheets every week?
again, I think that's a good use for it and something that I think could do, but we do like to check on our textbook fund is something that we value greatly because you have to go through textbook adoptions every so often, and a textbook adoption has gotten so expensive that we really liked, and Morgan and her team do a great job with this of saving money in case we do have to go through one where even a grade level can be $20,000 to $25,000 for an adoption. And although it looks like we have a lot of money in there, that can go really, really quickly.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying. about what those adoptions may do, especially when there's changes in SOLs.
Right.
I'm all for less copies though.
Well, yeah, I
I'm
was gonna say,
sure
if we can save money on paper, can we put that to consumables?
Yeah, very true.
Questions, Ms. Gore? On that part?
We'll move on to the school activity fund audit. We'll have the letters to those charged with governance, which is just a required, letter that given to the school board and, Mr. Graham and myself that just, communicates with you what happened during the audit, the results of the audit. Overall, we had a good audit, unmodified opinion, which is the best you can get. 3 of our schools had no comments, 3 schools had only 1 comment, and then another, had a little snafu, with one of the schools, but, Mr. Graham and I met with Ms. Bowling and, Ms. Grant and got that taken care of, so. But overall, it was a pretty good audit.
Morgan, prior to coming to schools, is this what you did? Prior to coming to the school system? I know you were an auditor. Is this the kind of stuff you did?
This and then the, like, the county audit, the overall, school board audit.
I have a question about the high school general activities fund. Where every sport has a booster, am I to assume in the receipts those are from fundraisers that all the activities do? If that's the case, then
That
it's
would
a
be
generous,
my,
it's a generous amount of money that comes in.
yeah, that would be my assumption, that most of those funds are, acquired by fundraisers. I can look into it if you'd like more specifics.
Yes, just, I mean, I know we've had a couple of issues in the past, and, you know, I was actually approached this week to buy a Cougar car. I'd love to do it, but I ended up donating to a personal PayPal account that wasn't associated with the school system in any way. So that's a bit concerning.
They shouldn't be doing that anyway.
We've really worked hard. Morgan's really worked hard. They should be using school cash
School
online.
cash online only, or cash or check.
Yeah.
They should be issuing a receipt at all times.
So
I thought so.
that's one of the things that we were trying to stress.
Gotcha.
That could maybe be a messaging error with the student that was approached you, perhaps.
It happened a couple times, and I bought one from the person I knew.
Do you know what sport that was?
It was football.
Okay. When they now that is that through the football club or is that through? It
But
was.
if the
It
booster
was the
money
DC
comes,
Cougar football card.
Oh,
if the money flows through Jamie's activity funds at any point, then
is the football club included in that too?
Football booster is.
I would assume so.
No, I know, but I think there's the 44. I guess the 44 club is what I'm talking about.
That's a good question. The football
I don't
booster
think it
would
is,
run
and
the
that
same
could be
thing.
separate.
But I also think
This was a parent of a player.
Okay.
I had a question, and again, I mean, looking over just say the high school, their activity funds, it appeared we had a few fund accounts on here that had a cash balance, no receipts, no disbursements, carries forward. Do we ever close out funds that after so many years that we see not in use?
typically we kind of just varies from school to school, and it depends on what account it is. As far as the high school goes, like for example, the
Student parking.
Lance account, $55. I assume that's where they Lance crackers at some point. Something like that they could close out if they're not really using it for anything anymore and just transfer it into their general fund. That's something that Jamie and Ms. Bowling would like to do. Definitely.
Which, I mean, there's a lot on here. I was just thinking, you know, if we can consolidate some places.
And I know you're kind of the top cop when it comes to finances. Like how when someone donates to the school, when do you find out about that, or when they purchase something from this way? When do you find out about that?
Typically, I don't. If I'm being honest with you. I mean, I look at their bank statements every month. They send us their bank statements and their bank reconciliations. But as far as what they receive and what they buy, that's kind of under Bowling's purview. And then if there's sort of questions or concerns, then I get involved. Kind of like when Jeff shows up.
One question. Mr. Graham, you kind of mentioned a third party, not one of the boosters listed here. When there's third parties out there doing fundraising and stuff, that's outside the scope of our schools and stuff. Are there any controls that money is being used the way it is, or
That money would go into that particular account that they're fundraising for. So it would be at the discretion of the principal to decide. It's not earmarked for any certain thing.
So in that instance, in my experience, we always say that if, or not we, don't work for that firm anymore, but the firm that I used to work for would say that if the money is gonna be receipted in this account, we should have the proper controls over it. They have to follow all our procedures and guidelines, because ultimately the school system is responsible for it. So that's kind of my.
I mean, because really you could just go out there and say that I'm a volleyball booster and I'm doing all these things. Josh mentioned, do they have to come and register through the school saying this is what we're going to do?
They do have fundraiser forms that they have to fill out that Ms. Bolin and I think Ms. Beth
I think
approved
we
it
also,
either.
per the policy, have to be a 501c as well.
It may be that the board would like us to look at, I don't know if this has been before, but a lot of school divisions separate their boosters from their funds, from their activity funds, and that takes a lot of pressure off of the school division. So it puts the onus back onto the booster club, and then that booster club decides how they want to distribute that to the activities that they have. And most school divisions do have that, and that takes a lot of the responsibilities off of our bookkeepers. So that could be something that we look at that would make sense if we could find somebody that would be willing to, be the president of a boosters club of sorts. And just have them all tied in.
Well,
Right.
Or
as I
some
understand, you got-
consolidated effort, because we have a lot of folks fundraising for a lot of different things. We're all Pulaski County. It should all go to the same pot, so to speak.
Right, and it's my understanding, I think we had an arrangement like that in the past where boosters kind of operated independent of the schools, and there were some issues that came up. Might explain why.
Could be why we're back
there's-
too.
yeah.
But I do know they have to be a 501c3 in order to be a boosters club. And then they are a separate entity from the school system. So if something were to come up like that,
Right.
it wouldn't fall on the schools.
Well, that, and I think, what we're talking about here, and I think they're doing great work in pouring into our kids with TD 44, but clearly they're operating independent,
Correct.
and we want, the public to know.
Yes.
I mean, they're doing great, but there's no oversight from here in terms of their funds.
Yeah, the board
or
would have
funding.
no responsibilities,
Yeah,
nor
they're
would
operating
Morgan or
independent.
her staff or me.
And where it kind of gets blurry too is they may be using our facilities they're selling posters or advertisements and stuff like that. To me, when you cross that, they're doing their own thing. That is cool, but when you kind of bring it into the schools, we're going to put this here, put this on the school boards and things like that. That's kind of, I think the school needs to be involved in that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And they would, so that they could also, for a fundraiser too, want to use our facilities as a separate entity, and they would have to fill out the facility use forms that Mr. Schill has too. So.
Raising money and then might be seeing signs on the baseball field.
Right. Right.
Any other questions?
Otherwise,
Well,
all
it looks
great.
good.
Thanks.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But
Thanks,
we asked
Morgan.
some questions, but thank you. All right.
You're the man of the hour.
Yes, it is. What you been building all summer?
All right, Jeremiah, I'm gonna take this thing out because I'm winging this. I didn't write anything down. I gotta see my pictures. I did hear in the curriculum update though that pictures are better than words. So if you'll see my presentation, it's classic, man. It's more pictures than words. So if y'all want to pull it up there. The summer's gone pretty well for us overall. So, and I'll go through some of these pictures and talk about each of the projects as we go. Let's see.
Coming.
A lot of pictures, so it's going to take a
Yes, you
while.
forgot to start off by welcome to WPCH.
That's right, that's right.
Live. On site.
And if you guys will notice too, I don't have a whole lot of flash in my presentations. So My apologies. Right up front. I'm gonna run through a couple in-house. We didn't do as many in-house maintenance projects separate from some other stuff, and I'll explain why as we go through it. We did build some more security doors at Kreiser. Basically, this helps the school in a lockdown situation, gives them some spaces where they can go into where they can lock down. So it's just a couple photos of those. We supported Jessica's new fridge and freezer at the high school. These are my guys on the roof there, and we were helping them get that on the roof that day. That was actually the same day the new chiller was being set, so we were kind of bouncing around between the two things. Yeah, we moved the outdoor units up on the roof and put them on the roof where they should be instead of stuck in a closet burning everybody up. So I don't know why they were ever in there, but it was original 70s stuff. So it's out and it's new now. So, and you said they got it working, so it's great. That's great. -4. And that's two of my crack maintenance staff. That's Chad Stevens and Shannon Carter up on the roof wiring it up right there. We did some painting at Dublin Elementary School. Trying to dress that school up a little bit. It needs new fascia to really get that school turned around. That fascia just makes it look bad. But we tried to dress it up a little bit and go with the shamrock theme there. And as always, the principal picked the color. I had nothing to do with the color. Yeah. And then moving on to the security wall, I could have put hundreds of pictures in here because I take hundreds of pictures when we're doing projects. Because you go back, a picture has saved us so many times. What's in the ground right there? I don't know. I got a picture of it. Let's have a look. So these are just the footers going in. I don't know if any of you guys have been up there to see it, but these were the footers. It's the beginning of the wall. This is the block courses being laid. The block went up really fast. The block shot up out of the ground, and everybody was amazed. I think in a few days we had walls up there that were blocked, and of course everybody was in a panic. You know, that looks terrible, and there's metal things hanging out of it. And I was like, it's gonna get brick. Just relax. So anyway, this is the block going up, and the one on the left is when the wall topped out at the front. So that's the top of the wall there on the left. The one on the right was the new sidewalk that goes over to the new main entrance. That's a new sidewalk going in there. This is a shot that I took. Oh gosh, probably yesterday morning or the day before. These pictures are as of yesterday, so some things happened today. If you look through the picture here on my right, I don't know how y'all are looking at it, but you're right too. You'll see the plywood screwed against the wall there. That plywood's gone. There's a nice new storefront door in there where that window used to be. In the single opening doors, there are doors hanging there now. I hope to, by the end of this week, have all the doors hanging on the security wall and have all the electronics working. So we didn't get it complete, but we got it functional. I've been in contact with the school administration the whole way. We've made sure that it's usable. And of course, we left all the security controls inside the courtyard that we've used for years in place. So we didn't tear any of that stuff out. So I'm hoping by the end of the week, the security wall, A-phones, badge readers, doors, everything's functional the way we want it to be. So I'm hoping by Friday. You know, there's a licensing thing I'm going through with the company. We had to buy 30 more licensing spots for doors. Paid for it 4 months ago. Still don't have a license. I don't understand that. But anyway, somebody got an earful today, and they promised me it's going to be there tomorrow morning. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Jess, not to interrupt. Can you go back to that one slide?
Sure.
On the picture on the right, there's like a teller window right there.
That's correct.
Someone will be in there, or is that?
No, that's designed. Basically, this thing's built like a giant security vestibule, like we built the elementary schools. I'm gonna point at this. Y'all can't see it, so that's weird to me. But anyway, that teller window, the door that we put in where that plywood is, that comes directly out of the main office. So somebody rings that silver box on that middle mullion, which is the A-phone, and says, you know, hey, I'm here to drop off Joey's lunch. He forgot his lunch. Well, then she can walk right out that door, right to that teller window. They can put that lunchbox, slide it through. That person never has to come in. So that's the way it's built. If you remember the elementary schools, it's the same premise, but it's a little bit different because it's the courtyard instead of like the front foyer. but it's the same premise that you can go out to that teller window and do the minimal business that you need to do, and you can do it right there through the drawer, and that person never has to enter. And that's why we put that door in where that piece of plywood is so the ladies can come straight out of the front office and walk right to that teller window without having to get up, go all the way around out to the door and meet people. So that's the idea behind that teller window there.
Jess, back to that photo. This is from the parking lot side, the office parking. Are
That's correct.
similar entrances on the wall side where they're closer to the gymnasium?
Yes, yes. There is basically a mirror image of this wall on the back side, on the Cougar Center side is what I'll call it. And it also has an A phone on it because you get late arrivals. The late arrivals that park down at the gym, that's the way they come up. So they can come up to the back side of the wall. They can ring the A phone. Say, I'm Jimmy. I had a dentist appointment. I'm late. I'm checking in. And they can ring them in or go out and meet them. And it's basically, if you know where Scott Vest's office is, it's basically directly across from that back door coming out of the administrative area. And then each of the other set of doors, the left-hand set of door, it doesn't have any A phone function or anything on it. It does have a badge reader. The reason there's that many doors in that wall is you got 12 doors exiting out of the main building into the courtyard. So by code for egress, I had to maintain 12 exits out of the new wall. So that's why there's so many doors in it. We have to, if we're dumping that many people out in the courtyard, like in a fire situation or something, they have to be able to get out. And that's pretty much it for the security wall. So we can, the stadium lighting project. A couple pictures of the cranes here. That's always a big day. You always get spectators. So we were taking down the center pole. If you bounce back that real quick, Rob. Just real quick. The center pole in the parking lot, that was the one that always gave me the most concern. I was always afraid that thing was going to fall down. So I'm glad it's coming down. And then the one on the left is just one of the old stadium poles coming down. And now I took this picture. People don't realize, when we're done, the lights come on. There's a lot of things that go on to make that happen. So you can see that's just one set of conduits, and there's probably 15 spots like that down there. So that's just kind of the stuff we've been doing. There's a lot of underground infrastructure work. Just a couple other shots here, the stadium light. And to give you an update on that, we turned the lights on this afternoon. They were lit. The stadium was lit this afternoon. So I didn't get a picture of that because these pictures were taken before today. If the weather cooperates, we should be dropping asphalt tomorrow. And the fence is going up too. I don't have a picture of the fence in there. I could have put 100 pictures, but I was trying to keep it short. But August 22nd is our goal, and I think we're going to make it. So, yeah. And I know, Troy, you can tell the guys down at the doghouse. We're good. They're concerned that guy up at the school system's not going to have that stadium ready for the football season. So, this is the one that I lost sleep over, okay? This is the new chiller installed PCHS. That old piece of equipment on the left is the old cooling tower that was being torn out. As you can see in the front there, we had to extend the housekeeping pad. So we had to build that to accept the new chiller. The photo on the right is the old chiller that gave us so much service. It's leaving there on the big fork truck. So there's a lot of things that had to happen to make room for that new chiller, and this is just a couple shots of that going on. This was the day. The day everybody was excited about. The big crane came in and sat the 52-foot brand new chiller down on the new pad there. And as you can see in the background, one of the things I will say that we did do, while there wasn't so much in-house maintenance stuff, we did a lot of work in-house to get this ready. We did a lot of the electrical work. We did the pad. We did all that stuff to get ready for the chiller. So we kind of tied ourselves up on some of these projects. All of it was in the effort to save us money. Another shot, that's the new chiller on the left, sitting there humming. Pipes and everything run to it. It's cooling the building quite nicely. And just to give you another example, the picture on the right, that's one of the old buckets we had to tear out. We did that in-house. Tore out the old buckets and put new buckets in. So basically a bucket is a breaker. And when you get up to a switch gear, they're called buckets. breaker, it's just a giant breaker. Okay, the other one that's been exciting, let me tell you, the Northwood renovation into the new school board office. So I just got some photos there. That's the other thing that we took on in-house. We did all the demolition in-house with our maintenance staff. The picture on the right was where we were demoing everything out and getting it ready for the contractors to come in and rebuild everything. The picture on the left was one of the roof sections that got replaced. That was the roofers on the roof fixing the roof. This was some of the framing that went into the classrooms. The previous slide showed the picture where we demoed everything. That was basically just an open space. And then as you can see, this is the framing going into the different offices. So just a couple shots of the framing that had to go in there. The shot on the left is a shot of the current boardroom before we did much to it. Of course, you can see the bare concrete floors. We also had the asbestos and everything abated before we started the project. The picture on the right just shows some of the mechanical stuff we had to deal with in the ceiling. We also ran all the data cable in-house for this project. It was 18,000 feet of Cat 6 data cable went into that building. 2 orders of 9,000 feet, and I got very little left, so about 18,000 feet. A couple of shots I took this morning. I think at like 6:45 or something. The one on the left is the upstairs conference room. Obviously, they're already using it for something. They had a bunch of bags packed up there. It looked like students' activities or supplies or something. The picture on the right is the new boardroom. As you can see, it's moving along. My goal for the new boardroom, well, twofold with the school board move from 202. We had to pay rent at 202 through August. We've already sent a letter to the landlord that we're done, we're vacating as of August. I've already set up to have all the utilities cut off our names, so we're not going to be paying anything after August. So my plan is next week, we're going to go into 202 and finish. I mean, there's still stuff that we've got to do. So we got to pack up the old vault. We got to, there's a lot of things we got to do, but I think we can get that knocked out next week. We really wanted to get tomorrow behind us, and then we'll move into 202. We'll clean it out. I have the walkthrough with the realtor on the 28th of August. We'll be done. And then the following week, after next week, I plan to drop back into the boardroom, and we're going to wire all the AV in-house. So my goal is for us to have the September board meeting in the new boardroom. If things, I hope it goes that way. If something blows up, if something happens and we have to direct resources elsewhere, we may not be able to make it. But my plan is, as of right now, working with Lincoln and Jeremiah to get all the AV up and running there so we can have a school board meeting there, and then we'll be there for no more of this. Even though it's a nice school, we want to go to our boardroom. So that's the plan with the Northwood renovation into the school board office. So that's kind of where we stand. That may be it. Okay. That's kind of. Any questions, comments?
Just another great summer's worth of work, Jess.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. One from me, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
During the listening tours, I was at DES, and I'm happy to see that you're giving some love there, but they kind of expressed concern about the parking lot and the lighting and that kind of thing. Is that anywhere on the radar?
Like the outdoor lighting?
Yeah, I think they say like if they're there for like parent-teacher conferences during the school year and it's and the paving the parking lot, like they say it's dark and the parking lot is very
I'll be
troublesome.
completely upfront with you. I think with the exception of River Lawn, every school we have needs to be paved. I mean, that's just a fact. PCHS needs paving. PES, surprisingly, needs paving. Dublin needs paving. Snowville actually is in decent shape now that I think about it, but we need a lot of pavement. There's no doubt. It's on the overall capital list, but as you know,
I was gonna say, hopefully they're first.
yeah, I think
repaving
and restriping DES parking lot was higher than most others, but we need a lot of pavement. So yeah, it's on there. As you know, we emptied most of the capital fund to get the chiller.
Sure.
And then we'll have to make some decisions after next summer, after we rebound and see where we are. But yes, I agree with that. I agree with that completely. And as far as the outdoor lighting, there is no exterior power at Dublin Elementary School. If we put in exterior lighting, it would be a from scratch deal. And I'd probably have to have new power dropped in by AEP. There just isn't any power outside on that campus, outside of what's attached to our building. We have wall packs on the building, but that's pretty much all we can do is put a wall pack on the building and shine it towards the parking lot. So it would be a from scratch. It's not like they had lights and they just don't work. There's just never been any lights at Dublin Elementary School.
While we're talking about Pulaski Elementary School, I don't know if there's a help desk or maintenance ticket for this, but the columns on the backside of the building are in need of some love.
Yes, sir. I've had probably 6 people look at that. The first 3 said no thank you and walked away. We do have, what I plan on, my goal is I'm gonna take those down and just brick them all the way to the top, because I can't find anybody willing to make the repairs to those. They're basically a wrap deal. They look hideous. I agree, 100%.
Just one thing, on the paving all that, that may be years before we can ever do that. Can we go in and fill the cracks and have it sealed to buy some time?
I don't know that that's possible at Dublin, to be 100%. I think it's way beyond that. I think that, yeah, I mean, we could. I could look into what it would do. Maybe PES. PES was installed poorly. It's just, if you go up there, all the seams are spreading really, really badly. I think probably PES might benefit from that. Dublin and the high school, I think they're just beyond ceiling. They're just, I mean, you start walking across them and they're bad shape. Yeah. I had the gym lot priced, not the upper gym lot, the lower gym lot where the large light pole came down. I had it priced as part of the stadium project. 300 grand just to do that one lot. So I had a 14-foot, a 22-foot section added at the stadium where we had to add it was $29,000. I mean, for a strip. Guy gave me that number. I was like, oh my God, I was gonna lose it. But anyway, I mean, yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, the pavement needs to be done. It's just expensive.
I know we have Dublin definitely on the top 10.
Dublin,
list.
well, and definitely getting their gravel lot paved. And we might be able to squeeze the gravel lot in next summer, being that it's kind of at least do the gravel portion. I'd like to get that front entrance done. I don't know if you guys have studied on it, but it's in bad shape.
So we've gotten a lot accomplished, even with kind of surprises that have popped in there. I did have one question. I think it was the last month's meeting when we came in here. There appeared to be a leak.
Okay.
Explain to me why the middle school new roof is leaking, and who do we have recourse against for that?
Okay, well, it wasn't a roof leak.
Okay.
Somebody found out how to override the air conditioning and cut this room down to 60 degrees. If you run the air down to 60 degrees, you will actually make it rain inside. That's what we were doing. Above the ceiling, it was condensating and raining inside.
Well, I guess that's good news.
Yeah. So we have taken the ability for somebody to override our cage out of their. They can't do it anymore. So we program locked them out. They were doing it in a couple rooms in this building. And the gym, they did the same thing. I started to worry they would ruin the floor. They got to ran them down to 60 degrees. You can't run a room down to 60 degrees. So it was basically making it rain inside.
Also, Gene, I think we might have one more year to call this a new building.
Man, it's 5 years old. It's not new anymore. All the warranties are run out.
Well, thank you, Jess. Appreciate it very much. And it is our hope and our intent when we move into that new boardroom in September, we will plan an open house opportunity for the whole community. Come check out the new building. It's really beautiful. I know you're all there. You've seen it, but the way they maintained original structures inside, the wood, the closet, and incorporating new offices, very well done.
We are all so excited to be there, and I'm amazed amazed just at what you and your team have done this summer. It's just unbelievable, and we appreciate. I know there were times where you've been up a lot and coming early, and it's just when you think about stadium lights and a breezeway and Northwood move all in 2.5, 3 months. It's just incredible.
Yep, it really is.
So thank you. Please thank your team for us too. I know they work very, very hard.
All right, on to fun stuff. SOL data.
So Ms. Compton did all of this for us, and we appreciate it. I know it took some time. And these numbers that you see in front of you, these are our poverty disadvantaged numbers, and they're not, I mean, they're accurate as far as the information that we have. And certainly Debbie does a great job of providing us that information, but when you are CEP eligible, you have a hard time getting in the forms you need to know your exact true numbers for that. That's something that I've talked to Ms. Morrison about a lot. I know she and her staff work very hard to get those forms in, but there's simply no need to get those forms in because all of our children eat free. But having what we have, you can see those numbers there. I'm not going to read them to you. We also do have the virtual schools, so that lowers our numbers too. This says 50% disadvantaged. I would say that we're 75 to 80. Okay, 72.6. Thank you, Jessica. So questions on that one? And then here is Mr. Williams. What you asked for is kind of the chronic absenteeism rate and how those students did on our SOLs. This first page is, and you can see there all the different subjects that we have. There's 27 of those subjects that we tested in. And out of those 27 subjects, chronic absenteeism students who were labeled chronic absenteeism passed 50% of our test. At the elementary school, they passed 62.5%. At the middle school, they passed 21%. And at the high school, they passed 50%. So then you move into this area here that shows the variance in the test actually, I was surprised by all this because our chronic absenteeism students did do a lot better than I thought they would, but there is a correlation between a chronic absenteeism student and a student who doesn't have chronic absenteeism. Those students that don't have it do perform better because they're at school more. But just going down the list there, we had in Algebra 1, 65% of their students that labeled chronic absenteeism, chronically absent, passed the test. Algebra 2, 66%. Biology, 44%. Civics and economics were at 47%. Earth science was at 44%. Reading, end of course reading was at 75%. Writing was amazing. 96% of our students that were listed as chronically absent passed the test. Geometry was 13%. That's something we're going to have to work on. Science was, grade 5 science was 47%. Grade 3 math was 42%. Mathematics, grade 7 mathematics was at 50%. Grade 7 reading, 52%. Grade 8 mathematics, 40%. Grade 8 reading, 55%. Virginia U.S. history, 88%. World geography, we didn't have scores on. World history was 87%. So again, they did a lot better, but in comparison to our students that aren't chronically absent, we do know that there is a importance for our students to attend school on time.
Yeah. I mean, I think data compiling it the way I did with the score, the student score and the student's absentee rate. You know what I mean? I kind of went a little deeper on, if you look at the one that's the SOL test, Algebra 1, that one right there. Like if I'm looking at it right, all students, every student that took Algebra 1 SOL, if you had a 241, so it'd be 331 students. So failed basic under chronic absenteeism, there was 33 students who fell in that failed it. So 33, 9.9% failed who were chronic out of the 331, right? I thought that would be higher, like you said. 63 numbers, all students failed. Out of the 331, it was 19.3%. So there was more students who failed it who weren't a chronic absenteeism. If it was something we could just put our finger on and say, chronic absenteeism is the problem, while we're not doing as well as we should in SOLs.
Right. I think you can say our students who are not chronically absent do perform better. I don't think that you could say there's a significant chance that chronically absent students are going to fail the test. Because we are showing, I mean, I was amazed at, you have 75%, 95%. I mean, that's pretty amazing when you have children that are missing 17 days. 17 days at least. And many of them are much more than that.
Well, and having these numbers, it allows us to really hone in. I mean, where I look is statistically we know if by grade 3 a child has not learned to read or grasp the concepts, they may not. I mean, we got to get them by grade 3. And so to target certainly messaging to parents and these younger students the importance of them being there. You know, when you look at the number of chronically absent that failed grade 3 reading SOL, it's pretty significant. That correlates to actual young people who don't have the basic proficiency in reading skills, and that's problematic.
Yes, and we didn't look at, the grades that aren't tested too for that third grade. A lot of those SOLs are subsumed into the third grade. So if they're missing kindergarten, first, and second grade, they're really getting behind.
They're getting way behind too quickly. Exactly. But it does help us target where the resources.
Yes, it does. And thank you, Debbie, again for getting
Yes,
this
thank
together for us. And Sarah Reed is the one who really looked at this and gave me the percentages. So if you all have any other she's given me some more information too, but I haven't had a chance to look at it, and I can share that with you another time.
I know towards the end of the school year last year, our attendance rates were really soaring in the right direction. So we're off to a very positive start. Keep them up high.
Yes, absolutely. That's our focus. And of course, that's a good lead into, Madam Chair, to our event on Thursday, which is our back to school bash, which our key presenter, Robert Jackson, is going to talk about the absolute need to be on time at school every day. Of course, he's a motivational speaker, but that's something that he really focuses on, that and family engagement too. So we're looking forward to that. And just Sarah Reed and Mary Shepperton too, the amount of stuff that we have to take there on Thursday night, the school supplies, the not school supplies that, soap, shampoo and things, $80 gift bags for students to win. It's just an enormous event, and I hope our folks will come out and take advantage of that too. And I'm hoping the weather will be sunny.
That was going to be my next. Do we have an inclement weather plan?
We do have an inclement weather plan. It'll have to be somewhere in the gym, and we'll have to use the entire gym.
All right. I think we'll see a big attendance to that.
I hope so.
It's being promoted, and people are talking about it. So.
And we've put the word out there, and everything is free.
All right.
That's all it takes.
That's great.
Well, I will let you segue on and tell us about the rest of the calendar.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. So, of course, tomorrow is the first day for all of our students. All of our central office staff will be at a school tomorrow to help with our students coming in. Mentioned the back to school bash on the 14th. Labor Day is September 1st, and of course, all schools and offices will be closed there. Then we have Jess has told us that we will have our regular school board meeting in the new school board office. So we'll be looking forward to that, unless something happens. And then Wednesday will be a 2-hour release for professional development for staff.
I have one thing to add, Mr. Grimble.
Okay.
On August 17th and back to school community prayer night sponsored by the FCA.
Okay.
The original venue was at the Jeff McCoy Theater. It's actually going to be at the New Hope Church.
New Hope Church. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Moving on to our couple of action items tonight. The first one I know we moved to address tonight is required a unanimous vote by the board. The 2025 Virginia School Boards Association Media Honor Roll. I can just read the resolution.
Yes,
is what
ma'am.
I'll do. We're going to honor a few of our local media outlets tonight with this VSBA honor. Whereas in each community, the public schools are shaped by the community to provide most appropriate and effective education for the children who attend those schools. And whereas public schools are dependent on the community's support in countless ways, including support in setting goals for the education of our children, in establishing successful volunteer and booster programs at the schools, for annual funding of operations, in periodic bond elections, in the election of qualified school board members. And whereas much of the community's knowledge and opinions about the public schools rely on responsible reporting by local media representatives who decide which news to share with the community, how much attention will be focused on various issues, and what the tone of the reporting will be. Now therefore be it resolved that by a unanimous vote, the Pulaski County School Board placed the name of Patriot Publishing LLC in the Southwest Times on the statewide VSBA honor roll, calling attention to the ongoing responsible and exemplary nature of reporting on this community's public schools. We express our appreciation for your balanced and accurate approach to sharing with this community both the challenges facing our schools and the successes achieved by the teachers and students. Your work has aided this community in focusing on the goal of providing the best public schools we can for the children who attend them. I also note a part of that resolution is included Thomas Mundy of WSLS and Lindsay Cook of WDBJ, adding them to the statewide VSBA Media Honor Roll. Can I get a motion to approve said resolution?
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
I'll second.
Thank you. Mrs. Porter?
Yes.
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 That is all the action we have for tonight. Are there any future agenda items requested by the board? Comments? I will say on behalf of all of us, we're real excited about this year. It has not gone unnoticed, the amount of work you all continue to do the entirety of the summer, and we're anxious to see it in action. That brings us to our last recognition of citizens' opportunity, persons who did not present themselves before to speak concerning Pulaski County Public Schools now have the opportunity to do so.